You know, the audio is a little unclear. I wasn't sure.
Sangeeta, yeah, I was just thinking, Naman, can you just check? Sangeeta is very clear, but the gentleman's voice wasn't clear. Can you just have another second mic there so that there's more clarity? राहुल भैया वो सेकंड जो ऑडियंस ने बोला तो वो क्लियर नहीं था. Sangeeta, can you just repeat what the gentleman said so maybe Uma can respond to that?
Oh, wow. Anurag said a number of things, I think, and just add on, he talked about how rocks are intertwined with our lives wherever we are. And he mentioned hill stations where we see these. And I would say treasures by the wayside, like you said in your film. And yeah, that's what you said. We see them everywhere, and what they do to our lives, whether it's dil, whether it's ecology, yeah, life. Is there something you missed out? That's what you said, right?
The crux was only that rocks which so
sir, can you just put the mic a little away from you? It'll be clearer, I think.
Is it clearer?
No, just put it further away from you.
Is it clearer?
Yeah, better.
Okay, fine. Sorry, I'm a broadcaster, so used to lapel mics. Anyway, sorry. So my point is very simple, that, you know, rocks which we take for so much for granted as something which we just see when we're traveling through different landscapes, hill stations, by the river, different locales. I mean, what Uma has done with this beautiful piece, that she's actually made this animate rocks come alive through beautiful storytelling, which is very well woven, and it connects with us with different emotions. So actually she brought these rocks to life.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Anurag. Anurag, this is very special because, first of all, Anurag is here despite having lost his father just recently. And he's in town for the ride. So it's really, really very, very special that you're here. Anurag, thank you so much. And all the Frank Anthony people, Soda Lemon, Ginger Pop, FAPS on the top. And of course, the ELSAs, all the LSR community and my dear, dear Jamia community. I know you're all there and I really thank you for coming. Yeah, I think you're onto something, Anurag. When we did the research for this film, and the research was a very long process, that's what really spoke to us, you know, that what is sparking, you know, our connection to the rocks. And it was always the stories, the songs, the culture, you know, the little things that we sort of take for granted. And so that's what we focused on in making the film, because jo hame, you know, jisse hamara dil dhadka, humne socha usi pe zor dete hain. So that's how it worked out. Thank you.
Thanks, Uma. Is this okay? Is this audible? Hi, my name is Uma Magal, and my father's family is settled in Hyderabad. So I've spent most of my school holidays in Hyderabad over the years. And I think a very beautiful film. Congratulations to all of you, and also to Mahanur, who's not here. And I think it really brought alive the meaning of the rocks in Hyderabad that we've all been used to seeing over the years. And it reminded one of the pain also of seeing so much of it change. Like while I was watching the film, I was remembering that recently I'd gone through old photographs in my house, sorting them out, and I'd found one where I and my cousin are sitting on a pillar in my aunt's house in Hyderabad in Banjara Hills, and everything around it is just rocks. And now that little pond of water near road number 13 has almost completely dried up. It's become like a nala, and all the rocks are gone. One of the last remaining ones was being broken down, I think 3-4 years ago, because they were building a bungalow there. So now all you see on that road is actually big bungalows, and all the rocks are gone. So it's a beautiful beautiful film. I think it's at a very appropriate time, and I hope that it will touch the hearts of the people of Hyderabad and others to save what's left, as you said in the film. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. I'll definitely convey what your message to Man as well. Yeah, what can I say? This film arose in grief. So, while it turned out, it was a very, what's it called? What is this called? Like when the two contradictory things come, split personality film it is, I feel, because as we all around us, we were seeing this destruction and we were grieving, really grieving at it. Mahanur, me, team members, people we know, friends, family, children, everybody was grieving really. And this film started to just, it started actually to do a small film for the children so that they could talk about it and express their grief, because in front of their eyes, all of this was destroyed. Their own places where they played in and stuff like that started getting destroyed. And they were like, why is this happening? Where are the peacocks going? Where are the snakes going? If they're taking away the rocks and things like that started happening. And so the start was really that, this very innocent grief of the children and ours also as adults, because this is our city, we know how it is, and we're seeing it all go. And then, the magic part of it was when we were doing the research, finding these wonderful ways that our culture connects with it. Whether it's Makdoom, whether it's Sikandar Ali Vajd, whether it's, Akkineni Nageshwar Rao singing that beautiful Telugu song, the stories, the little lore, the names we have in the city for the rocks, every name has a story behind it. That was joyful. So it was really this, like I'm saying, a split personality, yahan grief, yahan joy. We were like doloing between the two. And yeah, like you say, it's even now a mixed bag. The grief is ongoing because it's happening, as we speak. Maula Ali is being broken. As we speak, Khaja Goda is being broken. Venkateshwara Gutta is being broken. So this is just impossible to bear, because these are actually inside the city, heritage precincts that have been declared to be natural heritage precincts by the government, and yet they're being broken. So there's that terrible, terrible grief and knowledge of what's happening. And at the same time, there's this joy in, how the city culture and the area, the regional sensibility has so valued and, respected the rocks and the landscape. And you mentioned that lake, road number 13 wala, the lakes are tied to the rocks. They're just like, they're like your brother and sister or whatever. They're like siblings in the landscape, and the lakes are going as well. So it's impossible to sort of, actually digest the extent of the destruction that's happening in front of our eyes. So yeah, we made the film, we're showing it and we thank again, Anchal, Kriti, Habitat Center, all of y'all who have come. We're hoping as more and more people converse and dialogue and this whole discourse spreads, maybe there'll be some value assigned to what people feel, what people value in the city. We value many things, of course, this is not the only thing, but this is really immeasurably valuable. And, for our children, for our future generations. I mean, I go on, let me stop talking. Please go ahead.
So it's something very valid. And that's exactly what both of you just said. It's you feel, and then you think, and then you do. And I think that's what we'll all end up doing. You wanted to say something? Yeah.
Is that audible?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. My name is Uma Bhagat. And I just wanted to say that for me, this film was very special because in my family, we've had this long-standing tradition since my children were. But every time one of us, my husband or I, went out of town, we came back, we would always bring back something for the children as a memento of our trip that was free. So if I went to Srinagar, I picked up a chinar leaf and brought it back. And through our travels, whenever we did travel, particularly by road, we always stopped and picked up a stone and we brought it back, and we have this collection of stones in the house, which we used to paint. And for me, the film was beautiful. It was beautifully crafted and all of that. But for me, I think the crux of the film, the real joy and the real beauty of the film was the celebration of something that's free and available. And it's just so beautiful. And the grief that all of this is so unappreciated and is being destroyed. You know, it's the tragedy and the joy, as you said. I mean, and that came through in the film. For me, that was the most precious thing that I took away from that film. Thank you.
That's lovely to hear. And yeah, let's hope our labor of love awakens some consciences somewhere. And I love what you said about it's really public, it's free. And that's what it should be, and that's what it should remain. And so that's what our push is for, to have, you know, these geoparks, public parks, rock parks, you know, as many as possible in the city, so that our future generations know what this is and have the benefits of this ecology. You know, we enjoyed it. I must say that my time is, you know, I was a child, I played on these, everything, all, I enjoyed it, but my children enjoyed it for a while, you know, but even they have not got the full benefit of it. What about the next generation? I shudder. You know, what are they going to play on? What are they going to respect and value and connect with in the landscape? The lakes are gone, the rocks are gone, the trees are going. You know, what are we leaving behind for them? Yeah, so I completely hear what you say about this is a free and public facility, a beautiful one. And why are we doing this?
May I?
Yeah.
So one of the reasons why I think I connected to your comment, I was looking for something of this sort is, for us personally, for a lot of us, we are from Hyderabad, and because we are from Hyderabad, it's a very personal film because we connect to it. We have seen everything. What I was wanting to see is, when somebody who's not been in Hyderabad, what is their view of it? How do they connect to it? Because we can very well be very personally emotional to this, which may not be seen by maybe audiences who have not stayed, in that city. So that goes with every city, I believe. So that was one of the reasons I think I loved your comment also, to see how the point of view from which you actually saw this film. And I would love to see more of that. If there are other people who are not from Hyderabad, what did actually they get? Do they think that something got conveyed in a manner which ought to be or not, Thank you.
Yeah, hi. Thank you. My name is Shubha. And thank you, Uma. I think it's a labor of love, and I could sense the loss deeply. So I was traveling in outskirts of Hyderabad few months ago. I'm not able to recall this place, but it's this particular facility, training facility, surrounded by beautiful rocks. As a runner, I went up, climbed it, but I already mourned and came back. I cried, mourned, and came back because I know when I go back, that those rocks will not be there. And just bringing back, I think we need to tell the story of this loss again and again and again, like in Jewish tradition and other traditions, where people keep, whenever there's loss, they always keep repeating the stories. And I think we need to keep repeating the stories until everybody gets tired. And I think that brings us back to all this conversation about what are we building? We're destroying the earth, and what are we building back? But I also want to end this with a little bit of hope, because when I visit Sundar Nursery in the city of Delhi, over a 10-year period, Aga Khan Foundation and the Government of India has built back a forest. And I don't know how many of you went to Sundar Nursery. If you didn't, please go for picnic. You can go for a night picnic also. So we can indeed preserve if we have funding and if we all together work towards it. Thank you.
That's really beautifully put. And I'm delighted to hear about Sundar Nursery. Next time I'm in Delhi, I'm going to go. And the connection you made to telling the stories of loss over and over again, and the value of that. I really love that. I take that to heart. I'm going to work that into our outreach. Thank you so much.
Sorry, I just wanted to respond to the comment that was made. And I just want to say that, the fact that the rocks are so tied into our folklore and our culture and the oral history and all of that, and how they have over centuries, I think for me, and I didn't say this because I just felt I should stop talking when I did, but I want to say it now. For me, this film took it took a landscape of rocks that were not viewed as something very precious. But if we think about it for a moment, it's the stories and it's the significance that translate these rocks into something so special, and that came across with how you bound all of that within your film, and that was another aspect of it that was just beautiful, really, really beautiful. Thank you so much.
Can I make a point? Hi, Uma. Apart from, I just want to respond to that question myself. Actually, as a non-Hyderabadi, my instinct is to just go to Hyderabad right now.
Nice. That's good perspective. Yeah.
One more thing I wanted to comment on was your use of film language, and it was very witty. And I specifically remember where the part where you say that the invading army infiltrated through one of the gates, and there's a swish pan to these buildings, which are modern constructions, which are the infiltrators, really, So you personified them as an invading army. That was really witty, and there were many such moments, glittering, like literally like Kohinoors in the film. So I just want to thank you for that. Thank you so much.
Can you just share your name once? Can you share your name, please?
Divya Anchal.
Oh, Divya, hi. Okay.
Yes,
Divya.
hi.
Okay.
Hi, Divya. Thank you. That is just so wonderful to hear. And from a fellow filmmaker, it's just wonderful. Wonderful. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
I will definitely convey that to the team.
Yeah.
Hi, I'm Uma Magal, and your film was excellent. I have this question that what is the cause of, exploding these stones? Is there a population explosion in terms of people pouring into Hyderabad and needing buildings and apartments to live in? Because as you have said that the government surely is aware of this destruction, and yet it is being permitted. So what is the real cause of it? Like I said, is it people swarming into the city for jobs and skilled people? Because Hyderabad is also the south of India is now becoming the, center of computer scientists and computer experts. And so is that the reason? And in that case, why is the government not finding an alternative spaces for these buildings instead of exploding these precious rocks?
So do you want to take that?
Yeah, so I can at least take part of it. So essentially, yes, one of the reasons is that there is an influx of population There's a lot of so if you see, I think if you see my age, I'm entirely Hyderabadi. So since the last 40 years that I've seen Hyderabad, uh, the last 20, the turn of the century kind of is when the major influx started. And what even in the town planning side, whichever were outskirts as separate, what do you say, towns, vagera, they all came under the purview of a single city, which became like a very broad Hyderabad. Now, the thing is, in Hyderabad, it was almost entirely rocks apart from the place where Hyderabad was built. Even the place that Hyderabad was built even earlier was on rocks. So, to be precise, when there's influx, it is very difficult to find places where you don't get to break rocks. Okay. But there have been methodologies where you can develop the city without having to actually destroying rocks. I personally believe that is an area that we did not, what do you say, put too much emphasis on. And it was that the easiest, you usually do a shortcut, right? You want to develop, but it's not just develop, you want to develop fast. So the shortcut method is zameen sapat kar do aur fir us pe building bana. And that influx that has happened in the last 20-25 years has been, I think, more than double, and it has come from all over India. And one of the reasons, of course, is the IT boom, no doubt about it. And there's a lot of corollary ancillary industries and ancillary things. Now, because of this influx, you have infrastructure projects coming. For that infrastructure, you have labor coming in. So all of these, because they're tied together, they kind of, that is a predominant reason why. And you asked why the government is not stopping. I'm saying in a lot of these, it is the government's idea to break it also, in a way, to actually develop the city. But what there are certain bodies like Society to Save Rocks is there, where we are actually, what we are trying to do is how do you make sure that you can develop this, develop, but without having to go through this extreme measure. Okay. Or if you do develop, what are those very particular rock formations or ecosystems which are very necessary to Hyderabad, which can be identified and left alone. वो मुहिम जो है वो पिछले आई थिंक 5 to 10 years में धीरे धीरे करके शुरू हुई है, एंड आगे और बहुत करना जरूरी होगा उसके लिए, because otherwise it has become indiscriminate. It should not have been.
Yeah,
I think that is the best I can
I'll
say.
add 2 dimensions to that. It's a humongous dialogue. The question you've raised is just such a vast discussion. But in addition to what Sudarshan has just shared, I will add 2 things. One is the aspect of this blasting. You know, in the film, I was very particular to show that difference. That when we do it with the vaddars, when we do it with there's a limit to our physical labor. There's some limit put automatically to the destruction we can do. And that is sustainable. That's a sustainable path on. But when we start using dynamite and blast, then there's no stopping it. There's, you'll just shatter it to smithereens. And that is one aspect that really should be emphasized in this. The second part of this is that human creativity. Come on, aren't we not more creative than this? Is, as Sudarshan said, the easiest way just to pummel through the rocks, the only way. You know, for instance, Maula Ali, it is a beautiful sheetrock. If you see it, you'll be stunned. And the wildflowers in all our 6 seasons, different wildflowers, the rock itself, the flora and fauna there is just beautiful. And then there's a beautiful shrine on top. Now, it's amazing that they are breaking that sheetrock. And there's a report just last week in the papers that the rock is so hard that they're finding it hard to do. And so they're having to delay the project. The reason to break the rock is to build a ramp for cars to go on top. Now, is this at all in any way make any sense? I mean, okay, older people need to be transported. When we do our screenings, we do a lot of these screenings inside Hyderabad to start this dialogue and discourse in school, especially. बच्चे बोलते हैं कि एक ski lift लगा दो for people who need to be transported to the top. We can install a ski lift, for God's sake. And there'll be the added advantage of seeing the view of this stunning rock. It's really stunning. If you've seen many of our films have it in it. The Maula Ali Rock, there's the very famous song a few years back, Shrivalli. I don't know if you heard that. It was a national sensation. So the background of that is Maula Ali, And then there's another rock, recently we had a biodiversity park, which they broke for roads. Now, again, we need cars, we need infrastructure, we need roads. There's no questioning of that, really. But where is the creativity? There was no need to break through the whole rock park there. They could have built a flyover where people traveling could have seen that beautiful space.
And there are enough flyovers already. They could have built one more.
One more, yeah. So, but it's easier and cheaper to blast. So these are the questions that come up. These are the issues that need to be debated and thought about much more. And we're hoping sessions like this and will help raise that dialogue. So, thank you for your question.
Can I just say something here? Because you've mentioned about the kind of distress we have seeing in front of ourselves, the natural heritage of all our cities going away. And then, like the lady in the front row said, the revival, the efforts at revival also. I think when films like this are made and seen and shown, I think each of us here, sitting here, need to go back to our different forums, and if we are on social media, and actually really put it out there so that there is a buzz. Because, I don't want to get into the discussion on Chandrayaan, but, as much as everything is about progress and, conquering, we don't want to conquer. We don't want the rocks getting conquered by dynamite and blasts. We want the rocks to stay so that we can rock climb, so that, we can hide behind the rocks. We can sit on a rock in contemplation and reflection. And we can feel that natural heritage as being something more stable. People say rocks badha hoti hai, patthar badha hai. Bolte hai na, patthar ke sanam, patthar matlab barrier hai. But I think rocks are also very solid structures that give us that strength of solidness in our life.
They anchor us.
They give us that anchoring. They, when I saw the film, there was parts of geography and culture and natural heritage and the activist in me, and the citizen in me and the tourist in me coming alive. So I think for all of us going back today, hashtag or write or, talk about it, because somewhere somebody sitting in Hyderabad or in the central government should maybe make this a topic of conversation on G20. If there's anybody here going to G20, please talk about this. Just putting those placards in G20 is not, and all those buildings in Hyderabad is not going to give us progress. We don't want cement all around us. We also want these rocks, because they make us complete.
Yeah, and absolutely, like you're saying, in addition, there's the ecological sustenance that the rocks give us. Hyderabad has always been self-sufficient in water. That's because of the lakes, because of it keeps replenishing the underground water table, and the nutrients that the rocks give to the soil. We've got great crops, great fruit. Why? Because of how the whole landscape works together. And we have floods now much more than earlier because the lakes are getting built over. So there's so many of these connections that we lose when we lose the rocks as well. Yeah.
Hi, my name is Manish. Congrats to Uma Magal for making this film and to create awareness around this issue of losing the rocks and boulders of Hyderabad. And thanks to Kriti Film Club for organizing this screening. So actually, I have visited Hyderabad a couple of times And I have fond memories of Hyderabad, like Salarjung Museum, Charminar, and it is also known as the City of Pearls. Maybe it has a connection with the name Kohinoor, which you have given it to this movie, film, docu.
The Kohinoor connection is very interesting. The Kohinoor is from our area. It's from the Krishna Basin, the Golconda mines.
Golconda mines.
So it is Hamara Kohinoor.
Yes, yes. Hyderabad is also known as the City of Pearls, and
Yes. Yes.
so many places are there. Susan Sagar Lake, the statue of Buddha in the Susan Sagar Lake. So I feel that these boulders and these rocks, they are because of the Deccan Plateau. I think it is the center of Deccan Plateau. Hyderabad is located geographically in the Deccan Plateau region. And so, I mean, the Golconda Fort is very, I mean, most famous monument, historical monument, and it's a heritage structure. And so the Archaeological Survey of India, ASI, and the ASI of Government of India and the Archaeology Department of the Government of Telangana, because they should be taking care of the area around Golconda Fort, because there is a massive and huge open area around Golconda Fort. It's a massive structure, and the rocks there, at least the rocks and boulders around the heritage monuments, historical monuments and heritage structures, they can be protected by the ASI and the Archaeology Department of the Government of Telangana, as these are protected and protected monuments. And moreover, the otherwise like Banjara Hills is the VIP area. Taj Banjara is very famous. All the, I think, VVIPs, film personalities, they live in the Banjara Hills, and film studios are also there located in the Banjara Hills region. And so they can also, I mean, chip in, and the civic agencies like the GHMC, Greater Hyderabad Municipal Corporation, and the Hyderabad Development Authority, they have also the responsibility to maintain the character of the city, and these rocks they form, I mean, they are part and parcel of the city, so they should be preserved, not only for preserving the ancient or the historicity of the city, as well as for the tourism purposes, because people can see these rocks. These are massive rocks, and they are not found elsewhere in other cities, like in Delhi. JNU area, there is hills, Aravali Hills are there. So JNU, Jawaharlal University in Delhi, we see the rocks in the university, in the campus. And so, I mean, it's very important to preserve, and the civic agencies and the archaeology department, they should be chipped in, and the prominent personality of these cities, film personalities, RRR has been a huge success, and the Hyderabad, the Telugu film industry is now on top of the map of the, I mean, as far as film industry is concerned, entertainment. So they can chip in and create awareness. This film can create awareness, and yeah, thank you.
Thank you so much. We are trying. We're trying our best.
I know. Thank you. And just passing on the mic to someone here who's been waiting. Yeah.
Hi, my name is Abhishek. It was a pleasure to watch your film. The aesthetic aspect of it was very, what do you call it? I'm forgetting the word, but it just, you know, glues you to the screen and makes me want to watch more. So thank you for like the gentleman said, bringing such an important issue to light. To answer a question Mr. Sudarshan posed, I'm not from Hyderabad. I haven't been there at all. But looking at the story that you've put here, the connections that we have to the rocks around us, the history we've seen, and the time that they've been here with us. So if I go to the city, it won't feel as alien to me because I'll know something about that place. And it'll be like how art sort of helps us not feel alone, that, you know, there's someone else who feels the same way we do. So I can go to these rocks and just think about stuff and have that sort of a connection, which I don't necessarily have to speak about. So that's something that's very precious that this film has given. My one other question to Miss Uma is that a lot of the information in the movie was disseminated through song. My question is why? Like, why so much song?
I was waiting.
Oh gosh.
For
So Darshan, you want to start and then I can help.
Well, I think all of us are musicians at heart. Not by talent, maybe, but definitely by heart. Right? So I think one of the aspects.
I mean,
is
you
were
have
right.
Led Zeppelin or behind you, so like what music is very
All
much
by heart. Right. So essentially, I think from where Uma has been making this film now, if you count even now, I think it's 11 years now or almost a dozen years. So I have been with them only for the last 3 years or so. Right. But when I came on board, the first thing, I mean, of course, which attracted me was that the narrative style documentary जैसा नहीं चाहिए. हमें कुछ अलग करना है. So what was it? It was like, let's do a rap song. I was like, dude, what are you talking about? It's like, no, let's do a rap song, and the rap song will be the narrative of the entire movie. And I think that's a good reason because see, one of the things was that you want to appeal to a lot of younger generation, and we felt that this would be a very valid as well as a fun way to get across our point while also appealing to each one of our artistic sensibilities or aesthetic sensibilities. So that way we thought that yes. And then Uma and a lot of us, we got together, so many people to contribute. So Uma herself, wrote the song along with um, Usha, and there were other contributors to writing the song. But then there was a bigger thing as to, okay, they have written a lot of stuff. How do we make it up? And then the workshopping started, and then it was as diverse as is possible. I mean, those workshops were crazy. We would do like I remember we did that kawali thing in between. We thought let's do it as a kawali, and then we have the rap going on. Then we have jazz elements thrown in. So Murtovich was actually a very famous DJ out here in Hyderabad. He's actually quite internationally famous as well. So Murtovich, he came on board. He and Zach, they decided to produce the song, and they were close to, I think, 25 to 30 contributors to the song. If you see the musicians, the singers, and everything, and even the background music was taken care of. Where the song is not happening, the background music should appeal. So that was also very carefully chosen. So I think Uma had all the plan that we won't make it like your ordinary documentary with a generic narrative style. The narration needs to be through music. So I don't know whether that is something that we loved while making it. We hope people viewing it also love it. We've been getting good feedback for that. So thank you. I was waiting if someone brought it.
Yes, yeah, and Sudarshan, Uma, if I may add here, कि जब मैंने शुरू किया था सेशन, मैंने कहा मेरे जहन में उन पत्थरों की कहानियां थी. So for me, the music is the sutradhar that told that story in such a beautiful way. Yes. Yeah.
Uma, you wanted to add on to that? Or?
No. I think let's go talk to the next. If there's time, we can talk more about the style and the narration style. Yeah.
Yeah, good evening, everyone. My name is Rajaman, and I think it's a very beautifully made movie, and I can tell with how much love it was made. I'm from Hyderabad. I've born and raised, and whatever areas and the names that have been mentioned across the movie, I must have been to 95% of them. But I don't know the story behind them. I don't know the lore, the kind of tales, the kind of culture that was interwoven into them. And for me, it was pretty educational in a very profound manner. In addition to that, it's taken me a lot of time, 25 minutes, to process the kind of emotions that I'm feeling. The kind of loss, the kind of grief, and I can tell when you mention those kind of things, it's how personally it feels. So my question I could only ask is, what can we do? What can we do as citizens of Hyderabad, or people who are staying away from it, or people who have connected to the material as well as the landscape in the
very close manner. What can we do to further preserve or even send the messages across? And thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you
So
so
that,
much.
yeah, sorry, ma'am. Just want to add that that was the last question of the evening. It's the perfect way to end, right? What we can do. So, yeah, over to you.
Yes, absolutely. And thank you so much for the feedback on the film as well. We're trying to put together a list of things that people can do and resources that people can use. And, please come to our website, and there's a lot of information there already. In immediate terms, and I will also like Anchal to step in here and give some ideas, but in immediate terms from our side, please join us on social media and spread the messages that we are spreading on social media. There's a lot of stuff like this Maula Ali thing we've been on about the past week. So if you can just tweet that and say at KTR or at KCR or whatever, things like that can help, or anyone else that you think might be able to help. That's one way. Through social media, please join us and help us spread the word. And secondly, please suggest a place we can come to. If you're from Hyderabad, your old school, your colony, we come anywhere, and this is all free. This is a real labor of love. Mahanur and I decided from the word go that we're not going to make any money off this. This is for service. We are daughters of this city, and we want to give to this city. And we really love these rocks, right? So this is our way of giving back to the city. So we come free. We bring a discussant. Sudarshan is one of our outreach managers. And Sudarshan, you can explain the outreach a little more if there's time. But basically, that's what happens. So if you invite us, just tell us of a venue where we can come, and you can connect us to some person there who can organize it. We bring the film, we bring a discussant, we show the film, then we have a conversation, and like this the word spreads, because we're very powerless people. We're just citizens and artists, filmmakers. We really don't have much power, but if we can spread the word and raise the voice on this, if the civil servants who now don't take our calls and ignore us all the time, if they realize that people are also caring, it's not just the two of us, Manur and I, but so many people who are also caring about this, then maybe they'll pay attention. Maybe they won't blast that rock through Biodiversity Park, which broke our heart in 2019, and we almost stopped the film at that point. Maybe they won't break that rock and they'll build a flyover over it, pay that little extra cost, be a little more creative. We have the engineering talent for sure. We can take those options, and then move forward as a global city that we become. So yeah, you can help us definitely in these two ways for sure. And then I'd love Anchal to step in, because she has so much experience in this, and maybe help us think further.
Sure. Before I kind of add on, is there anybody else who has any questions? I'm sorry, Sangeeta, you have some last words to say, and then I can see the hall is kind of empty, but yeah.
Yes, I thought people waited, they listened, and then they had to slowly go out, this being Delhi. Now, my last words are that my last words, okay?
Last words of today's screening, on today's screening.
They will be famous last words.
Yes.
Last words. It's the beauty and of the film, like Divya said, because without that, you can't feel. And if you're not feeling, there is nothing you're going to do about it. So I would watch it another time again, and I hope it goes across to all schools, universities, and forums where people are there to view it and make a difference. Yeah, bring the wonder alive, because when the wonder comes alive, the protection will happen apne aap se. Thank you. Thank you for a wonderful screening, Antu. Yeah, who's going to get the...
Thank you, Sangeeta. I want to, I think I'm going to respond to what Uma requested, and then I'll hand over to the ground team. So I think, I was saying to you the other day, I feel films like this, and what that lady said also, the films like this should get into curriculum, school curriculum. And college curriculum. It's so important. They need to go to policy forums. Sangeeta, I was thinking maybe we should take this to Vinita Sethi and ask her if she can connect us with some spaces like Pafi and others where maybe we can screen this film before more destruction happens, more rocks go, because there are still some left. I think we have to be somewhere. I'm realizing we need to be catching on some of the key words and key thought processes that the current disposition is moving with. Because I think the voice of protest is completely being silenced. But a voice that kind of shows the importance of heritage from the perspective of keeping our head high, you know, and still being known and seen, I think is something which is very sad that I'm even saying this, but maybe some films like this and some topics and subjects and realities, a film like this can play that role to kind of happen. I also do think that more screenings in the state would always help, of course, but they have to go beyond education. They'll have to become more action oriented. You know, and I think we can all just kind of start spreading that thought, like you said. I think you should give us all the tags that we should tag, all the people we should tag. You know, we put that out on our film club profile. Make it about Hyderabad retaining its beauty, and staying and progressing. Make both of that to happen, you know. I mean, that's what Delhi in some ways is losing it, but it's also gaining it with the revival processes, you know. So I think that's what we have to try and keep balancing. We want that shrine to stay. We don't want it going. You know, we don't want that to go. I think those are the efforts that we have to do. We'll talk about what more we can do in Delhi and NCR, Uma.
That would be great.
Yeah.
Yes.
I want to also just thank Sangeeta Gupta.
I just want to add to what you were saying. I think collaboration is the key. So we're talking about people in the education sector, and then we collaborate with people in the environment sector, and then we collaborate with people in the arts sector. And when all of it comes together, the movement becomes very strong. Yeah, thank you. Those were the last words.
Actually, I just got an idea and I don't want to lose it. So I'm thinking that maybe we should talk to Sanjay Roy and see if we can get this to the Jaipur Lit Fest. Because I think that has a really wide outreach, and it might be interesting to kind of do that.
Anyone there even says one word, they're also powerful.
Yeah,
that
exactly.
KCR will listen.
Yes, exactly.
KTR will listen. His son will listen.
Yeah.
Yes.
So Sangeeta, thank you so much for being we are now owning you as a Kriti team volunteer, along with being a friend of Uma and us. And thank you for this amazing evening. Thank you to all of you who are still here and, you know, have watched the film, and to all those who came and many others who need to watch this film. Thank you to the entire Kriti Film Club volunteers, Divya, and everybody else who's here. Thank you to Rahul Bhaiya and the Habitat team, always for, you know, sticking by us and giving us this space. Do continue to come to Kriti Film Club screenings. As you must have heard earlier, we are an independent space. We do this because we are mad about the possibility of documentaries being a medium of social action and change. So if you'd like to make a donation to us, please do so. There's a QR code outside. We have a link which we can send out as well. Link us to places and people where we can actually make this grow, because we do need a dedicated process to get this going now. So thank you. Over to you, Divya.
Thank you.
And thank you, Uma. I mean, thank you. I mean, I'm leaving it to Divya, but thank you, Uma and Sudarshan, for giving us the opportunity to screen the film.
Thank you so much.
Thanks a lot.
Thank you so much.
Divya.
Yeah. Thank you. I think Anchal has already given us a good conclusion, farewell. Thank you, everybody. Thank you really for joining us. Those few who are still with us. Thank you, Uma. Thank you, Sudarshan. our lovely audience, and Sangeeta, the IHC program and support staff, Kriti Film Club
Someone is
volunteers.
waving.
Thank you for joining us. And please stop by, like Anchal said, please stop by the desk outside that sells lovely handcrafted items. Do pick up something or make a donation. And the next screening is on 17th of September. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Thank you so
Sangeeta,
much.
come up in front. We're going to take a picture. Now, volunteers and Sangeeta and Divya, everybody.
Thank you so
And-
much to the volunteers.
Yeah,
Especially we know that nothing is.
Maybe we can ask somebody in the audience to take a picture of all of you with us on the Zoom. Yeah.
So let me take a screenshot with one of us speaking.
Okay, I'm very bad at this screenshot. Let them take an in-person thing. You can take a screenshot also.
I'll take a screenshot where people also come in front of the camera there.
Yeah.
Whoever left.
Yeah.
What I was talking about was the modern buildings were a metaphor for the.
The discussions continue, Uma.
I know. I really love what the young man said, who was responding to Sudarshan's thing about, not being Hyderabadi and still relating to the film. He said, I'll feel like I have a friend when I go to Hyderabad.
Yeah.
I love that. I just love that so much.
Yeah.
Lovely. Makes it all worthwhile.
You know?
10 years of, you know how to.
Yeah. Okay, I think they're taking a picture.
Yes. I'm hugging my rock.
And okay. Let's take out this.
The mask worked, the pack.
Can we have you all in front of our screen so we can see you also?
Yeah, like in that little camera
Yeah,
screen.
in the camera screen, please. Yeah, now we can take a screenshot. I don't know how.
Yeah,
how
I
do
will.
we-
I will take a
You'll
screenshot.
take a screenshot. Okay, aajao.
So I see
Come on.
Naman. I see Naman, and I
Yes.
Divya, can I see you? I'm
Divya,
Right side,
aajao.
it is cut
There's
off.
Hi,
Divya.
Cut off.
Yes.
Niche
Yeah,
ho
yeah,
ja. Yash.
perfect.
Okay.
Hi,
Yes.
everyone else. I don't know your names.
Vandana, hi. Jayati.
Vandana.
And
Okay.
Soumya.
Awesome.
And Umesh. Umesh is the amazing photographer, videographer.
All right.
Nice.
Yeah.
Hi, Umesh.
And Yash
Next
in the
film,
middle
next
there.
All right. Okay.
Okay, let me take a
Lovely team
screenshot.
you've got, Anchal.
Yes. Let me take a screenshot. The gentleman taking the photograph. I want your face. Where are you? Where are you?
Where are you? You also come.
Yes.
Yes. Hi.
Yes.
Is that Rahul?
Yes. I'll take
Okay.
another screenshot.
Okay. दिव्या तुम्हारा चेहरा इधर हाँ. संगीता तुम्हारा
Yeah.
चेहरा भी नहीं दिख रहा है ठीक से. हाँ, better.
Yes. Cool.
Great.
I took.
Thank you.
Lovely.
Thank you so
Lovely.
much.
One word before you go. This is my first documentary that I've seen here, and after seeing this, I thought I should come here more often. These are my kind of people. Thank you so much. For
Yes.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you. Thank
Yes.
you. Also online भी देख सकते हो. DocuLive पे online films देख सकते हो. Okay. Thank you, Divya.
Thank you. Thanks, Anchal. Thank you, everybody.
See you. Thanks, Naman. Thanks, Rahul Bhaiya. Thank you, Sangeeta. Vandana, how are you? Oh, I should stop the recording.